screens here. But the less you could use. Welcome back to Norby's Worldwide Activities, where we like to talk about world concerns or world topics. And by the title of this live, I want to talk about what's been happening between the U.S. and Venezuela, or should I say Trump and Venezuela? Because honestly, there's really no good reason for the U.S. to start a fight with Venezuela. I mean, some can say, well, Venezuela has a dictator that's treating his people wrong. I'm like, well, if you live there and you're seeing that happen, I believe that. But if you're here and you're just paying attention to what the media is telling you, well, I wouldn't trust that too well either. For the most part, if you hear any interviews in the cities, yeah, most of the people in the cities don't like him. But are they did they get executed? No, they're still around. They don't like their living conditions because one, they can't make more money, and that's the reason. Generally that's the main reason why people don't like Maduro in Venezuela, because you know you can't make as much money. That guy caps everybody's money making ways. And when you can't do that, that sucks, because there's a lot of resources in Venezuela where you could make a lot of money. Let's see, where's the check? But this morning, I saw in the news that the U.S. Has sent one of our battleships south. I'm assuming north of Colombia, north of Venezuela. 805 Lemmy says, "What's cracking, bro?" Shout out to the little guy. Yeah. What's up, 805? So yeah. So this morning, as far as I know, we have sent out a battleship south. What does this mean? That means that in the game of chess, Trump has just moved one of his pieces. Now, you could say this is just a pawn that he moved strategically north of where I guess you would say the queen is at. And I guess Trump wants to see where he can move. So far, Trump has made the first move by moving that battleship south. I believe he's letting Venezuela make a choice on what move they're going to make. The latest threat from Trump is that, well, the threat that he gave Venezuela is that he will start attacking what him and his intelligence agencies will hopefully confirm are actual, you know, cartel people. Where Trump says that they will be very dead. I think he says that word, very dead. Shout out to Juan. Shout out to Zapata Vive. So that was the threat that Trump has put, that the U.S. will officially attack on Venezuela land, and he compares it to the way U.S. attacked. I guess you would say attacked the what do you call those guys from Afghanistan? The Taliban, I guess. You're right. 805. What a great way to protect the very wealthy that have been doing wrong, very, very wrong, than to start a war. But it's worrisome because if if the U.S. starts attacking lands in Venezuela, clearly these cartel people have families. I think anybody would say agree that a cartel boss probably has a family and their people live near them, so they probably have families. So it's a good reason that there will be a good amount of collateral damage of innocent people. You know, I'm sure the government. I'm sure Trump will say, well, they weren't so innocent if they were with cartel members, children included. But if this happens, that gives Venezuela all the right to use the same tactic and attack U.S. soil with the excuse that that's the home of a drug dealer. And I say it again, there's more than likely a drug dealer here in the U.S. Probably has a family, probably has kids. So if Venezuela does attack U.S. soil and attacks drug dealers, and by that way also take out hit their families, what's gonna happen? What is it? What will this mean when U.S. starts attacking Venezuela land and Venezuela starts attacking U.S. land with the same excuse saying that the U.S. is taking out cartels, but Venezuela is taking out the dealers? How are we gonna feel here in the U.S. that Venezuela has attacked the land, but attacked an area where a drug dealer happens to just live or be that? But unfortunately, they took out the entire block to take out this one dealer. What up, Ghost? How's it going, man? So it's very, it's, like I said, it's very worrisome that Trump has said publicly that he is going to attack in Venezuela land the way the U.S. attacked overseas with the Taliban, saying making it seem like it's okay for the U.S. to attack Venezuela because those are our enemies that are there, not the government, but the cartels, as he says it. Now, this is an interesting part because, as far as we know, Trump has not given any proof that those ships that he bombed and destroyed near Venezuela were actual, cartel members. Not one piece of intel that was saying, "Oh yeah, there were bad guys in there." 805 Planet says, all this is the same story. What happened to Panama back in the day of Noriega? Yes, 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 yes. And Trump was a big fan of that time with Carter, Reagan, even Nixon. He was a big fan. That was his childhood. Reagan being one of his heroes in life. So right now, Trump is playing chess, but at the same time, he's also playing poker because he's trying to bluff Venezuela. I like to think that he's trying to bluff because he's not. Trump isn't a war guy. He's not a war guy. He's not gonna push to go and start a war with the continent south of here. But he will bluff. He will bluff, and he will make it seem like he is willing to attack Venezuela unless they help stop cartel members, and there's a big and, they have to sell they have to allow US companies to drill the oil and refine it for the US. They have to allow that. And this is really the real objective here to get Venezuela's oil. I wonder why why do they want why does the US always need Venezuela outside the US? The US has a ton of oil, a ton of it. LA having the biggest reservoir in the whole country of oil. Why? Because the US doesn't own that oil. That oil belongs to extremely wealthy families. They own that oil. That is theirs. They'll sell it to the US, but the US would have to pay a high price for that oil. Whereas if the US uh, goes and attack another land for their oil, the US will save a ton of money by illegally taking that oil for the US. You know, or do a negotiation where they sell it for a lot cheap. In a sense where, well, if you don't give us a cheaper price, we're just going to have to take it. And really, we don't want to just take it because then that means we got to do a lot of bad things. So why don't you guys give us a good price and we'll pay it and then nobody dies. Basically, we hold other countries hostages. Shout out to Egypt. Shout out to you. Uh, I don't know what to say about Sonny, but you know what? Sonny does his own thing, so I got a lot of respect for him. There's a method to his madness, I believe. A cloud chaser, no. If you want to be a cloud chaser, he could definitely go in and a lot of people and cloud chase. He's got enough enemies out there that he can definitely cloud chase off of them and probably get a ton more numbers off of it. So I don't really I wouldn't buy into him being a cloud chaser. Let's see, 805 says he won't start a war with right now because his ego is after Nobel Prize. Yeah, he didn't get that one up. So it's a trip because, like I said, he moved that ship today in the morning. So that ship is now heading towards Venezuela, probably Colombia also, because Colombia is saying a lot of things that Trump is not too happy about. I mean, Trump is, in a sense, I would say right now, Trump is definitely crashing out because even I think yesterday or today, he put 100% tariff on Canada. 100% tariff. Nobody buying anything from Canada now. At least not in the U.S. because that's 100% tariff. That basically means that they gotta either sell their things very very cheaply, or whoever in the U.S. needs to buy Canadian stuff, they're gonna pay a heavy price for that product. Oh yeah, I'm assuming when he says things like he doesn't have any enemigas, I'm assuming he's saying that they're not worth talking about. They're not enemy enough to where the point where he has to talk about them. That's my assumption though, but you're gonna have to ask him. But he could definitely go in on a lot of people, like a lot. I mean, even me, I could go in on a lot, but it's not worth it because I mean, we could get views, that's for sure. And I was doing Run the Fade, I was getting a ton of views, but in the long run, all it did was make a gang member call other people to get at me because he didn't like the videos I was making about him. So when it got to that point where this individual had to make phone calls to a ton of people to tell me to try to take down the videos, I like to think I did my job. At that point, mission accomplished. I made this guy call a bunch of gang members to get at me. just to take down his videos. I like to think that was a victory. That means it was getting to that point where you might, you know, well, we'll leave it at that. Anyways, back to what I was talking about Trump. Yeah, so it's difficult to really think where he's going with this. Shout out to Honey 64. Yes, Norbert, you already ran that fate. With who though? With who goes and the fate of that? Animal, esto, compa. That's right. No, heck no. No, I gotta lie. Tony definitely got way more views than me. Especially that News with Norby's episode where Kid Frost called in talking all kinds of shit. And I was just sitting there hearing them on the headphones. I was like, oh shit, this is really Kid Frost talking shit. My childhood is complete when the rapper that did this for the Raza is on the phone line and I'm in it and he's talking a lot of shit. Doesn't get more it doesn't get more special than that, to be honest. It doesn't get any more special than that. You know, I have a lot of respect for Kid Frost, but that day, man, that day that guy went. That guy blew. He shouldn't even be acting like that. That guy got a heart attack. That guy should not be. He should not be getting aggressive like that. Cause that guy is one stroke away from it all ending. But that was a trip. Talk about memory lane right there. Yeah, on these things for right. That shit was a trip. 805 says Team Nori. Hey, did you like the bullies? Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good song right there. I made more fun of Marvelous because he was like, what is that? I'm like, what? What do you mean? What is that? I'm like, what is that? I'm like, that's a song, bro. That is a song. You don't know what song that is? They're like, oh, yeah, I remember now. I'm like, I was really thinking, man, this is the guy that says, what? You don't know this song? I'm like, who doesn't know Bully Woody, man? Come on. Come on. Classic. Classic. Actually, I know they were showing that in the movie. Which movie did they show that one? One of those movies from those gangster movies. They showed it. I forgot which one. I think it was when they were playing handball. They played that song. I want to say it was during a scene like that. Shout out to Pues Egypt. Nah, I hear you, bro. I hear you. You know, like I said before, for me, I had my run-ins with him, and it was cordial, and well, there was definitely disagreements between me and him, but I leave it at that, and that's all. But getting back to the topic, so yeah, so Trump is playing chess. He made his first move by moving that battleship south. Question is, what's Venezuela gonna do, or how is Venezuela going to move now that that ship will be near his waters? I mean, what can he do but move his own battleship north and meet our battleships, or meet our one battleship that's going there? My guess, as far as like, let's say chess playing, I would say that he would move one of his ships also. U.S. moves its first pawn, Venezuela moves its first pawn. The question is, who's going to attack first? Only 64 says, what about the music that plays in the PCP house car or house yard on blah, blah, blah. Maybe. I know it was in the movie, the Bully Willie song. So, guys, I'm asking you guys, who's gonna make the first move? Because the U.S. will have their battleship set. The pawn is moved, set in its place. Venezuela will most likely counter by moving their own battleship to meet that ship. In a way to pretty much, they're going to play chicken. They want to play chicken, and they want to see who's gonna break. Norbert Moreno just got here to run the fade. Damn! Don't be playing with me, Marvelous. That would be dope if he is there, though. Uh, what's it called? So yeah, who's gonna make the move? Is Venezuela gonna attack the U.S. ship? Is the U.S. ship gonna attack the Venezuela ship, or will there be a third party that will create an attack? For which side though? Because really, they're just creating the scenario where whoever attacks first is going to hit hard, and then at the same time be prepared to for any kind of attack. And like I said, if the U.S. starts dropping bombs on Venezuela land, by the rules of war, let's say Venezuela has the right to hit U.S. lands that they would say are areas where drug dealers live or work. And then if it came down to that, what kind of war are we looking at from that point? Who will be the allies? Because when you look at the what you call it, the United Nations, it's always U.S. only has one ally that always sticks with the U.S. And I think we all know who that is. Other than that, everybody else is against that place, not the U.S., but that place. Let's see. Clarissa says, "Is always wants to control everything. You see, Trump won't attack Russia, even though they are a dictatorship." I think Trump knows that because it's overseas, he doesn't want to do that, especially because that leaves Israel in a very vulnerable spot. If that did happen, more than likely the first place that Russia would take out would be Israel, because that would be a strategic place for the U.S. to be south of Russia and attack. Only 6-4. You say I don't see World War III happening. I don't know. I don't know. Right now, like I said. Right now, it's a game of chess. It's a game of chess because Trump hasn't attacked yet. Venezuela hasn't attacked yet. But if Venezuela just somehow, some way, took the first shot at the U.S. and I don't know, maybe actually bombed that battleship, and I don't know, maybe we have a thousand Navy men in there that will unfortunately, lose their lives from that attack. What will happen here in the U.S. will be the narrative that our Navy our Navy sailors were killed horrifically by Venezuela. That in itself is the act of war. And that gives Trump every right to declare war, and Congress will be in the corner where if they play the media right, Congress will have no choice but to approve Trump's declaration of war against Venezuela. And when that happens, it's going to be it's going to be interesting because we will see who in fact is the U.S. allies and who in fact is Venezuela's allies. And what would it mean now if Rasa troops are sent down there to pretty much take out our own Rasa. Will Rasa be taking out the Rasa? I think for the most part, to Marvelous's comment, I think for the most part, these people that are running, they are all in it. But where does that leave Rasa? Because at the end of the day, if they attack that land, they're gonna attack our people. Because at the end of the day, from North America, South America, those people that are indigenous, those people that are in tribes, those are our people. So where does that leave if we see and we find out that we're bombing our own people? Shout out to Brad Pitbull. Let's see, one person is getting intrigued on how the U.S. government and $1 worth nothing very little. Hey, I mean, right now it's just a piece of paper that's literally just credits. Credits. That's not even money because they're not worth it. It's just credits. That's why I think on the bill is it just says it's there to pay a debt. Our money now is just credits. That's it. We're just getting. It's a video game. We get credit points unless you listen to Brad Pitbull and you buy silver or gold, maybe even some copper. Platinum would be good. Only says all I see are bankers trying to get the resources from other countries, and you're right about that. You're right because if you want to control this world, you have to control its resources. You got to be the ones to control the food, the energy, because when you control the food and the energy, you control the people because they need food. I wouldn't be surprised if soon you're going to start hearing that our all of our water resources are depleting, and we're going to have to go and so we're going to start rationing out water. When we start rationing out water, we're really screwed. We are really screwed, and that happens. Mara says, the prophecy in the Bible of war in the Holy Land is about our Lord, our land. This is an ancient Holy Land, not over there. You know what? I think for the most part, I don't know when I said it, but I think I said that the Bible. Well, no, no, you just said it, it's prophecy. I don't know. It feels like it, it feels like something is definitely happening soon with Trump playing God right now. I like to think that Trump is playing God right now because he has the power to say and almost do anything he wants. 101 percenter says, the more about it's more about turning back to our customs than investing in weapons, gold, silver. But I tell you this much, right now would probably be a good time to start investing in weapons manufacturing. 805 plumbing, did they? Let's see. Trump has no power, nor be none of it. He told us what to do. No way, 805 plumbing. Hey, nobody block 805 plumbing. Yeah, just give me a say when I get to a home computer and I'll give you a wrench 805. And then, and then you can see who's blocking you. Mile High says USA is itching to attack Latin countries. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, folks, but I'm a bit. Just the fact that he sent that ship down there, that was his first pawn to move on the chess table. Now it's Venezuela's turn to make their move, and we'll probably find out what that is by tomorrow, or Yeah, Barrett this weekend. This weekend would be a good time for Venezuela to consider what move they will make against our battleship that's heading towards them. Will Norby's get drafted? Thankfully, no. I'm way past that age limit to get drafted. Mara says this is about manifesting and harvesting our energy for their God, who they sacrifice to. I mean, at this point, they've been sacrificing quite a lot. Been sacrificing a lot, and make sure you guys watch the news this weekend. Keep your eye on the news this weekend because I feel like we're gonna hear something this weekend, and it's probably gonna be a good thing. With that being said, this is it for this live. Thank you guys for joining me on this one. And I'm headed to Marvelous to set up. So catch us on the Oldie show tonight. All right. Thank you. Hit the like button. It really helps me out. And also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you guys. Alex times foods for 24 hours. He's not thick like an Orbeez. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one.